So it's taken me a long time to come up with this solution, but I think I finally got it. I finally got the perfect way to play Game Boy and Game Boy Advance games on original hardware and to be able to capture it in order to either live stream or record on YouTube as well. It's a very convoluted setup, but I promise you it's worth figuring out. This video is sponsored by Bifrost Bridge Studios, and this video was supposed to be a review of these two games that they sent over for me, but while I was capturing footage I managed to come up with this solution and I just thought I have to share it in its own video, so these will be coming next week, so stay tuned for that. So without further ado, let me show you exactly what this setup is and why it's so good and why I'm so excited. Let's get started. So first of all, I'll go through everything that you need in order to get this to work. So you'll need a GameCube with the Game Boy Player attachment, but you don't need the original disc for the Game Boy Player because actually playing games through the Game Boy Player isn't really that good. It's very blurry compared to this solution that I'm going to show you in this video. So what you'll need to do is get yourself one of these. This is an SD media launcher for the GameCube, and it basically lets you put homebrew files onto a GameCube memory card with a little micro SD card in the top there. So I'll put a link in the description to where you can get this from. It's actually still available for sale on Datel's website. So grab yourselves one of them from the link in the description, and then you'll need to download some certain software called Game Boy Interface, which I will also link below. And then all you need to do is put the memory card there into slot 2, put in the action replay disc that it comes with into the GameCube, but we're not done just yet, because to get the best picture quality from the GameCube, what I've done is got myself one of these, which is a GC HD adapter. I actually did a full video review on this, so if you want to go and find out more about this and what it can do, check out the video. I'll put it on the eye in the corner of the screen up there, and I'll also put a link to it in the description, so go and watch that after this. But to capture the best quality out of the GameCube, this is definitely the best way to go. But we're not done just yet, because I prefer playing games on a CRT. So what I actually do is have both of the ports on the back of the GameCube set up to output to different devices. So I've got the GC HD adapter here going into the Elgato capture card, which is connected to my MacBook Pro, which is then using OBS to capture the footage. And then I also have the SCART cable, an RGB SCART cable, going out of that into the CRT screen, which I use to play the games on. Just a word of warning though, if you're planning on playing GameCube games in 480p, it won't actually output to the CRT using a PAL console. The only reason that this is working is the fact that the Game Boy interface runs at 240p instead of 480i or 480p, so that's why you can actually output both at once using a PAL system, and to be able to output in 60Hz as well, which means that the picture is super sharp and clear, and you can use both digital and analog signals. So you might be thinking, that all makes sense, and what else could I possibly show you to make your Game Boy experience even better? Well, this is something called SNES to GC, and this is an adapter that lets you plug in SNES controllers and use them on a GameCube using a standard GameCube port. But I'm not just using any SNES controller either. I'm using this here, which is the Hori Super Game Boy controller for the SNES. I picked this up while I was in Japan. You can get them on eBay, but they're quite expensive, but it's definitely worth it, because as you can see, this is basically the exact same layout as an original Game Boy. I think it even uses the same buttons and the same D-pad. It feels very, very similar to the original. And plugging this in, using the GameCube, using Game Boy interface, using the CRT with the RGB SCART cable, the quality and the amount of enjoyment that I've had from playing the original Game Boy games using this setup is just beyond anything else that I've ever experienced. And as well as that, if you want to play GBA games, because of course this original controller here doesn't have L and R buttons, which the GBA does, I also picked up this ASCII pad for the SNES as well, which does have L and R buttons, and it also has turbo fire for each of the different buttons on the controller, and this is perfect for playing Game Boy Advance games. And then to top it all off, the best way of playing all of the GBA and Game Boy games that I've found anyway is this, which is the Easy Flash Definitive Edition, and I'm going to do a full review on this in the future. This was sent over to me for review, so I'm definitely going to do it, but this is definitely the best flash cart that I've got for GBA. Of course, I've also got the EverDrive X5, which I've already done a video for in the past, so again, I'll put that on the eye and in the description, and I'll update the description as well when I've done the video for this. And I'll also list in there everything that I've got for this setup to get it working the best way possible. So that was kind of an overview. Now let me show you exactly how I get it set up and show you the actual output that I get from this as well, because it is actually mind-blowing. So first, let me show you how to set up the SD card for the media launcher and how to get Game Boy interface running on the GameCube. It's really simple. So first, all you need to do is go to your disk utility or disk formatter, get a 2 gig or less micro SD card. It has to be less than 2 gig for the GameCube to be able to recognize it. So once you've done that, open up your disk utility, or on Windows I think it's disk formatter, and erase the SD card and format it as MS-DOS FAT, and then press erase. So when that's completed, the next thing you need to do is go to the website for Game Boy Interface and download the files from there. So it's on this wiki here. All you need to do is go to where it says download main package on the side there, press allow, let that download into your downloads folder, unzip it, and then all you need to do is take the contents of this, copy that onto the SD card, and then when that's done, if you're not planning on using this for any other purpose, you can actually rename the main file on here to get it to auto boot as soon as you turn the GameCube on. So for that example, I'll do that here. So if you scroll down a little bit on here, if you copy this and if you paste that over this one, GBI SR, which is apparently for speedrunning, but I found out that that is the only one that my CRT and the digital output will recognise at the same time. So if you rename that to Auto Exec, and then all you need to do is unmount the SD card or eject the SD card and then put it into the GameCube and boot it up. So let's see what it's like when you boot the GameCube up now. So as long as you set the SD card up right, all you should need to do is turn the GameCube on, and then once it's gone through the boot up screen, it should show you this action replay for GameCube screen here, and then automatically boot up the Game Boy Advance player Game Boy interface. And as you can see, it just looks absolutely fantastic on this CRT, so much better than the official Game Boy player. And of course, at the same time as seeing it on this screen, you can also capture it using the capture card, and this is what the capture card can see. I'm so happy with the results of this, and I'm sure you can tell that it really is the best of both worlds. So you get all of the benefits of playing it on a CRT, as well as being able to capture it through a capture card. So thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this as much as I've enjoyed putting all of this together and finding the best possible way of playing Game Boy and GBA games. It really did make a huge difference, and I'm definitely going to be using this setup going forward. If you enjoyed it, let me know down in the comments, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe, and of course, as always, I'll see you next week for the next episode. Goodbye!